All right, try number two. First video was the audio was bad. So let me try this again. I traded today. I did it live and I just wanted to share. I kind of time stamped my trades so I could go back through and just give a clip of my thought process. This is what it looks like when I trade. This is kind of my thought process when I trade. I am not a professional trader. I am the complete opposite. I am a degenerate. Like, do not follow me in any of this. None of this is back tested or proven. This is just the way I trade. This is what I found success with for a short amount of time. I'm not recommending anyone do this, but I just want to give a little bit of insight onto how my brain works. If you can gather anything from it and it does help you, great. If you don't understand it, don't try it. I'm putting it out there for potentially other traders to see, get feedback, see what other people are having success with. Just something to kind of track my results, something to hold me accountable. This is not anything that should be studied or put into practice unless you have a deep understanding of the market. And even then, you probably know much more than me. I just like to keep it simple. My brain works differently than other people. I can't have a lot going on. I would get distracted. I trade off of a simple indicator, support, resistance. I have watched the market for over a year on a minute ticker, so I feel like I have a pretty decent idea of what the candles tend to look like. This is a live feed of me trading today. My camera's frozen, so you can't see me, but you can hear me, hopefully. On the last video, you couldn't. Hopefully, you can hear me in this one. I'll kind of cut through the points that I have marked down. That way, you get to hear my actual thought process. So I'm going to cut right to it, and here it is. Could reject, go downside, but look, this is bullish, so this is going to cross here, and then you're going to see buying pressure. This may not even come back down to retest. This is actually exactly what I look for. This is what I would want to enter here. You're going to get a buy signal here. Ideally, you get a red candle next, and I would enter on the red candle, and then we get a breakout. Look at SPY. More than likely, you're going to see buying pressure in the SPY. Yeah, AMD just going. So yeah, this gave us a few trading opportunities, right? So we saw this rejection, retest, rejection. We played the downside. We got the downside. We exited two contracts like in here. We exited one contract here, which is the bottom. Retest. We saw this trend on the 1 minute, breaking, holding. So I got out of those at like 2% positive. So I closed two contracts pretty much break even, slightly positive. And then I said we could play the upside off of the bounce. Probably could have. And now we're retesting the actual upside level. So we want a red candle here to really enter. From my experience, you'll see a buy signal and then potentially a red candle. This cross looks pretty strong. So this is red. We want to retest, and then we want it to go up. I may buy an AMD call here. They're a little bit pricey. I actually like this. I think I'm going to take this trade here. I think I'm going to buy two 105 calls. In anticipation of the bounce off of this and then upward movement. Green. 414 straight upward into 414. But yeah, I mean, there's more than one scenario. We definitely could see it cross and then see a red candle give us our entry. This AMD is starting to pull back, so I'm going to actually exit out of my total position. And we got filled on that. The fill was, I didn't catch that fast enough. I would have exited sooner. It could continue. What we want to see is a retest and then back up. Still holding the 414 calls. I mean, I still have faith that all of this selling pressure has to come back in at some point in buying pressure. I mean, we could have seen it here, but this just isn't enough volume. I want to see basically this volume come back in and I just realized I was muted probably on that last little clip of my face because I looked at my mic. But all I was saying is I would go over my SPY trade, which is here. So this is in real time. You hear me just talk about the SPY trade. I went to lunch and came back from lunch, and it had kind of played out how I said. All I said is that I entered a trade in the morning. It was super degenerative, and it went against me. But then I stayed with it because I had conviction on where the market was going to go. Doesn't make it right. Definitely could have been wrong. I could have got blown out, could have went to the downside, could have lost it all, but it was an amount of money that I was willing to risk. And then it was a situation where I thought it was more likely to take the upside, and this is my thought process on that. Green, because if this was shorts that just smashed it on open, they have to buy these back. So they have to take profit at some point. Maybe some were taking profit here. This is just my theory. This isn't like proven or anything. But if people were shorting the market today, they shorted it open, drive it down. They take some profit here. And then we have to see buying power come back at some point, whether they get squeezed out or they just start closing their positions. So yeah, so now we're seeing this green candle come. So this would have been our entry. Kind of the same thing that we saw on AMD. So I wait for this cross, huge buying pressure. I wait for the red candle, retest, enter, and then we see upside. I exited my position here off of the 1 minute. I exited my position off of this red candle here on the 1 minute. I didn't like it. And then we took like 18% or whatever. So we exited here. Now we're seeing some down. Wow, just as easy as this went down, and then we just saw this massive sell-off. This could have turned into, let me do something here, watch. So just because this, we saw this, right? Could have just as easily there we go. Could have just as easily done this. Right? Like we could have just as easily saw that. Really, we should see like buying pressure come in. We should see this, I would think. Be nice to see like right here. So it'd be nice to see something like that. That would be. So that's that. This is when I had returned from lunch, and I just kind of go over what I saw on the chart. So this is the market when I got back from lunch after I had posted that, and this is what we have here. What is going on? So I ended the stream today, and I spoke at the end of the stream kind of about this level right here, how I expected to see this purchasing power kind of, or the selling strength kind of come back in. We're testing this level. I'm going to make a sell real quick. I am closing out of my SPY position. And we closed that out. Sorry, I don't have my... Let me make sure this audio was good. Yeah, so the audio is good. I just didn't have my headset on. So we went up, we tested this level. I just sold right here, and then I expect it to kind of come back down. I just wanted to do a follow-up video on my trade today. So I live traded, and you can watch it if you want to. I think what I'm probably going to do is kind of clip a section of the live. All right, so that was me trading. And the last thing I want to go over is, here, I'll pop back up here. So this is right now, this is the market right now. So that trade that you just saw me exit on, we exited off of a point of resistance here. So we went over our entry, which I'm not going to explain, but the exit, the reason I got in here, I paid a premium for it. We averaged down somewhere in here because of my reasoning. I thought that this selling pressure had to come back in at some point. We did get that run, and when I exited out at this resistance, I exited for $2. Now, it was a same-day expiring option, so this is what I want to... If anybody can take anything from this video, I think that you should take this. You can exit in the green, okay? And it's not going to be painful if you get a run up. And the reason is because of theta in options. You can see here, I marked this. I sold here for $2. Well, we got the trigger again to the upside, or well, it broke through this resistance, and then it instantly came back down and then was trading kind of sideways throughout here, right? So even if I would have held that and then waited for it to run harder, I would have went against my rule of selling where I thought there was resistance, and then holding and having to sell later at a higher point for less money. So this is a 44-cent difference, which is essentially a $44 difference over 3 contracts. So you're talking about 120 bucks, which is the difference between a green trade and a red trade. So that is what I have, and somebody's knocking at my door. So that is all I have for you. Thanks.